something weird. Okay. So,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, here we are. We're all live. Okay.
Yeah, just try.
So we'll just wait and see if anybody shows up. Yeah. And then we can get started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know that some people said that they wanted to join today, but they had some other things happening at the same time, which is fine. They can watch the replay.
Yeah,
So,
of course.
yeah. But I'll do
Just
like
like
a quick intro on myself, just so people know who I am, and then you can do an intro and introduce yourself. Okay. So, hi everyone. My name is Jessica Hanlon, and I am a branding photographer and brand strategist. I help female entrepreneurs grow their visibility online. And today we are going to be talking about time management, which has nothing to do with building a brand, but also has something to do with business though. And this is going to help us to get kind of a little bit more organized in our lives. So that's why I invited Helen to come and join us and talk to us today, because I thought this is really like timely since we are at the end of January and pretty much we're almost at the end of the month. I can't even believe it. It's been like the longest month for me. I feel like it's lasted forever. I don't know about you. But I hope you all grabbed your coffee. I have my coffee mug with a cat. I have a collection of cat mugs. And yeah. So you have your tea, I have my coffee, whatever your drink of choice is. But yeah, so Helen, why don't you just start off by telling us where you're from and tell us a little bit how you got into this kind of work that you're doing for other people. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would love to. So my name is Helen. I'm a time management and business coach from Sweden. So I live in Stockholm, but I coach people, I would say all around the world on mainly, I would say time management, but everything related to business. And so what really got me into time management and business was I got to a place where I really was so tired of feeling stuck, of not reaching my goals, of just having months and months go by without any progress, and just didn't know what I mean, so the thing is we always know what to do, we just aren't doing it. And I couldn't understand why. So in 2019, I hired a business coach, and we worked on everything related to business, but also a big part of it was time management. So, and that's really where everything started for me. So I've used time management in my business for the past 1.5 years, and it has changed everything for me. Wow. Everything when it comes to following through on things, everything when it comes to keeping being on track with my goal, motivating myself, and just getting out of feeling stuck, because that was one of my biggest issues, is when I felt stuck. And also I was so tired of feeling that I didn't have enough time, that I was behind, that I always should be doing more, and always felt like I was working, even though I wasn't. But it was constantly in my mind that I should be doing more and something else. And everything changed with time management.
Okay. So I'm curious, really quick, when you started with the time management, when you got a business coach, were you actually concentrating on time management, or what were you doing something completely different?
Yes. So I started out as a general life coach, to be honest. I got certified here in Sweden in 2017, and I got another certification now in 2020. And so I started out as just a general life coach and health coach, to be honest. And I really thought that was what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. But when things started to change for me, I started to notice so many people, so many brilliant coaches around me, especially women around me, having this mission of wanting to put things out into the world, but not getting themselves to actually do it. So that's what I really saw, that I really have to do this, because I have something that really helps, and I just have to share it. And I just have to teach other people how to do it too.
Okay. That's great.
Yeah.
Because I know that I struggle with this myself. I have two little kids, and then, juggling life. It's always like, how do I get as much done between 9 and 3 so that I can, be able to do my work, do what I love, and then also to pour into my family life. So like you have to really learn to manage time even more than ever, especially if you have a business and you're trying to accomplish two different things, right? So do you have any tips for other people how we can maybe get a little bit better? Because I know myself, like, okay, I can buy like loads and loads of calendars and books, and I'm like, yeah, this is the year I'm gonna do this. I'm going to, plan everything, and then I lose the book somewhere in my apartment, and I'm like, yeah, it's really pretty, but then I forget. So like, how can we stay on top of our goals? I know it's not that easy, but like, give us some tips so that maybe other people who are like me, who really want to stay on top of goals, and buy like shitloads of calendar books and try to like, make life work. But yeah, give us some tips.
Yeah, and I think this is the most common thing we always do with goals. We get so excited, we get so motivated, we buy ourselves these pretty planners, and we just start writing everything out, we start mapping everything out, and then something happens along the way. And we just find ourselves not even knowing where the planner went, or we just throw everything in the trash. This is so common because, I mean, there are always so many things competing with our attention. There are so many things that we also have to do. And especially, I think, especially as a woman, we have so many other things we want to do and be good at the same time. So really prioritizing our business is one of the hardest things, I think, especially when we're first starting out. So I would say I have so many tips. I don't even know where to begin. But I would say the thing I think that so many great tips. So one of the tips I would definitely
one important one, like one that's like a real like easy one to follow.
Yeah. Okay. So one quick tip is to make as many decisions you can ahead of time. And that is what you do when you're planning time, because we have to know why we don't want to do the things that we have on our calendar. So let's say that we have a pretty calendar, we have things on there. And the thing is, when we make decisions ahead of time, it's so much easier for us to follow through on them. And because in the moment, we're always going to want to do other things instead. So being able to make decisions ahead of time really helps with following through on things. And also, every time we make a decision in the moment, it drains energy. And we only have a limited amount of energy every single day. So instead of having to use up all that energy every single day, we can use that energy to create content and just serve our people. So that is one tip that I would definitely give to everyone. Also, I would say when we have the planner, when we have created our things that we want to get done, I think one of the things that is really important is we have to, I don't know how to say it, but we have to have routines and habits that support us in our everyday life. So we have to have a way to remember, just as you said, it's so easy to forget about the planner and the things and all the commitments and all the things that we have decided to do. But to really take the time every single day to look at that calendar, to make that a habit, a routine to do, makes it so much easier to really start that. I would say the first thing in the morning, to just set the intention for the day. So just look at the calendar, see what things are on there that you want to get done, and just have that as a habit that can work for you in the background.
Okay.
I would say.
Yeah. I think sometimes when I do my planning, I have to do it the night before, because I know that my mornings when I get my kids up, I'm already kind of like all over the place. Like, hurry up, you have to be at school by 8, like, feed the kids. And like, I don't think I have that time to like really focus on it until I like come back after dropping them off from school and really getting like to look at the calendar. So I guess for me, I would look at my calendar the night before or something just so I'm mentally prepared. But sometimes like I'm always just planning only for like the week. I'm not really planning fully ahead because I find it really hard to plan ahead unless like somebody says, hey, this date, we're going to meet up for a coffee or, whatever it is. So I guess how do we get better at planning for like more future things? I mean, it's hard to envision. Like for me, like one thing that I know that I need to do is to launch my online course. It's there, it's ready. I'm just waiting for a little like more things to happen. But like a part of me is like, why the hell have I not like put this out there for people? I know people need this right now. And like, if I could just like, I have all the tools from like different people, like how to launch a course, how to do this. And I'm just not like actively getting it on the calendar. And in a way, I feel like really overwhelmed. Like it's overwhelming on top of the other work that I do, because I'm also like doing work for people. Like I do like photo shoots for people and then I have to edit the photos. So on top of that, it's like almost like having a second job. So I almost am like, oh my God, what am I doing? So I guess like, how do I become better at planning this out? Like, I'm not asking you for all the answers because of course, your money, time is money and all that stuff. But how could you give us a small tip on like how to actually think a little bit more about like future plans and like be better about that? Because I feel like when I start to think about those things, I get really overwhelmed.
And that is what happens, because when the things that we want to do are still too vague, that gets us into being overwhelmed or feeling overwhelmed. So what I like to do when I have things, for example, I have my masterclass I'm hosting this Saturday. What I do is I have something called focus time in my calendar. So I plan my week the week before. So I plan 7 days ahead. So every Sunday I plan for the upcoming week. And so one of the things I put on there is focus time. And the focus time can be either 1 hour or 2 hours. And then I decide what kind of work I want to do in that time. Because I think that oftentimes the reason why we don't take the time to do the things, as we said, to launch the course, is because it feels too big and we have to break it down. So I would suggest always find time, pick a time and a date where you're going to do your brainstorming session, to brainstorm all the things that needs to happen from this day and all the way to your launch. So first of all, decide on a date that you want to launch, because I really love to think about it as if we have vague goals, we're going to get vague results. And having vague goals is one of the reasons why it's so hard for us to do the things, because they aren't really clear to us. So we always want to start with picking a date, making the goal specific. So picking a date, and that's the hardest part, because we don't want to pick a date, because when we pick a date, it becomes more real. But we want to do that because we want to bring everything up so we can look at it and work through it. So just pick a date when you want to launch your course, have a brainstorming session. What are everything that needs to happen from this day until the day of the launch of the course? I like to do it backward. So work my way all the way from, okay, so this is the day of the course. What needs to happen just before that and just before that? Just start with end in mind, because that helps the brain not focusing on all the obstacles. And then just brainstorm everything that needs to happen, all the steps, get everything out on a piece of paper, list all the obstacles that might be in the way, list everything that can trump or that you need to do more and that you are afraid that will happen. So it might be I might get sick, or I don't have enough time, or I don't know how to do this specific thing. So write down all your obstacles that you have and turn them into strategies. So how can you overcome all of those obstacles even before they even happen? And then I would say really all about getting them on everything that you have, your list of things, and putting them on a calendar. And then is the hardest part, because I would say there are two things that we need when it comes to completing a goal. It's first, we need to have a game plan. We need to know all the steps we need to change in order to get from point A to point B. And then we need mind management. Because there's going to be things that will come up along the way, all the self-doubt, all the obstacles, everything that keeps us or want to keep us from reaching our goals.
Yeah.
And that is really why taking the time first thing in the morning and just looking at the calendar, or even night before, to remind ourselves what the things are that we need to do the next day and how we can really set us up for that day.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, these are really great tips. And I think that if any of you guys are listening right now, I know we have somebody on here. If you have any questions, ask Helen now while she's here live. If not, you guys can also get in touch with Helen. You're offering a masterclass, and tell us a little bit more about that so other people can maybe learn more about it and check you out. Yeah.
So Saturday, I don't know what time it is in Sweden, but I have it in my, so I did that to my website. I have time zone, so I'm not sure. Yeah. But it's all in English, and it's all about the topic of the masterclass is reach your goals faster and with ease and clarity. And it's really all about how to reach your goals without hustle, and to do that with ease and just having fun along the way. So I teach my 3-step process, how to do that. And anyone who is welcome can just join.
Yes, I think I need to do that. Because like, I mean, there's other things that I'm really skilled at, but there are other things that I need help with. And of course, you can't build a business alone. You need help from different people. So if you can actually get help with the things that you lack in, which is for me, time management, I definitely will be signing up for your masterclass and learning more. So I'm so glad that you were able to join us and share your views on time management. And if you guys have any questions, nobody's putting any questions, that's fine. If you guys have questions, put them in later. Helen will be in the group and she can answer any questions that you might have, but also go check her out directly. We'll put a link to your online course or your masterclass. And thank you for just giving us some time. And I hope these tips helped everybody else. And if you were watching the replay and you thought these tips were helpful, please put a thumbs up or a high five or whatever. Somebody's asking, are you using a specific calendar? Do you use a calendar, like an online calendar or a written one?
I use the calendar on my computer. Actually, I have tried to do both, but for me, I think it works better with doing it on the computer because I'm working on the computer. But I have many clients that have paper ones, and that works perfectly for them too. So I would say either way works.
I use just like a notebook, and then I have like notepads, like things to do, and I write, like they're written all over the place. And I have it on my calendar as well. I do plan out my social media though on Calendly or Planoly, and at least that kind of keeps me a little bit organized with that part. So I guess, do you talk about automating and things like that, or is it mostly just like planning and things? Because I guess setting goals and things have to be automated as well to make your life easier. So
yeah, I think of course, that's one of the things I do. But I think first of all, the thing we often work on the first is how do we learn to follow through on things? Because it's so easy to keep promises to other people, but when it comes to ourselves, it's so easy to just not following through on the things that we said that we were going to do. And really that takes practice. So it's really about learning, from the beginning, and just learning how to trust ourselves. And I always say time management is all about the relationship you have with yourself, to build self-trust, to build confidence in yourself, knowing that you can do anything you set your mind to. But it's also the ultimate self-care. And it's a way for you to plan ahead how you want to take care of yourself. So it's a little mix of everything. Sorry.
I love that.
And it depends on where the person that I'm working with is. Some people are new to calendar, and then we just start from where they are. And some people are more advanced, and then we can start by really just getting down to the nitty-gritty and just making things better.
Awesome. All right. Do you have any more questions? Anybody? Or I can't see who it is that's writing the question. It just says Facebook user. So sorry if I can't directly say your name. But okay. Well, if you guys have any questions later, just put them in the comments. Awesome. Well, then I think that's a wrap. I just wanted to have like a short coffee conversation, just a little coffee break. People take a break, and I didn't want it to be like super long. So yeah. Oh, hey, Odd. Nice. Great. Well, thank you for coming on here. And let's say goodbye to everybody and wrap this up. Bye. Have a great day. And thanks for sharing your time with us. So, all right. Bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.